Welcome back, everybody, to my channel, Swiftie1989. We have another 2028 coin collection video, video 15. Today we have Lyndon B Johnson versus Barry Goldwater. Here is Johnson, here is Goldwater. This was two real candidates who actually went against each other in the 1964 election. Image credits to 270 to win. As you can see, Goldwater won most, not most, but some of the South, primarily most of the South in Arizona. The rest all went to Johnson. So you could say he was fairly popular. But today we are going to see if we can get redemption for Goldwater. Because in this election he only got 52 electoral votes, while Johnson only got 486. So, let's get started. Okay, so here's the candidates, and I forgot to tell you information about them. Oops, oh well, there's Google for a reason. Anyways, so, again, tails Democrat, heads Republican, and we're going to starting off with Alaska with 3 electoral votes. Go to Johnson. Next is Hawaii with 4. Going to Johnson. Also, this Kansas voted for Johnson. That was the last time we voted for a Democrat president nominee. Since then, every election after that, my home state, Kansas, has just voted for a Republican. So, fun fact. Anyways, Washington with 12, going to Goldwater. Oregon with 8, going to Goldwater. California with 54, going to Goldwater. Nevada with 6, going to Johnson. Idaho with 4, going to Johnson. Utah with 6, going to Johnson. Arizona with 11, going to Johnson. Montana with 4, going to Goldwater. Sorry about that noise. That's my hamster in the background. Kind of my brother's hamster, but yeah. Anyways, Wyoming with 3, going to Goldwater. Colorado with 10, going to Johnson. New Mexico with 5, going to Johnson. North Dakota with 3, going to Johnson. South Dakota with 3, going to Goldwater. So Goldwater's doing a whole lot better than he did. Maine's 1st district going to Johnson. Maine's 2nd district going to Johnson. Maine's 3rd district, not Maine, I keep saying Maine. Nebraska's 3rd district going to Goldwater. Maine altogether going to Johnson. Kansas was 6, going to Goldwater, so carrying that Republican theme. Oklahoma was 7, going to Goldwater. Texas with 40, going to Johnson. Minnesota with 10, going to Goldwater. Iowa with 6, going to Goldwater. Missouri with 10, going to Goldwater. Arkansas with 6, going to Johnson. Louisiana with 8, going to Goldwater. Wisconsin with 10, going to Johnson. Illinois with 19, going to Johnson. Indiana with 11, going to Goldwater. Ohio with 17, going to Goldwater. Michigan with 15, going to Goldwater. Kentucky with 8, going to Johnson. Tennessee with 11, going to Johnson. Mississippi with 6, going to Johnson. Alabama with 9, going to Goldwater. Georgia with 16, going to Johnson. Florida with 30, going to Goldwater. South Carolina with 9, going to Johnson. North Carolina with 16, going to Goldwater. Virginia with 13, going to Goldwater. West Virginia with 4, going to Goldwater. Massachusetts with 11, going to Johnson. Rhode Island with 4, going to Goldwater. New Hampshire with 4, going to Goldwater. Vermont with 3, going to Johnson. Connecticut with 7, going to Johnson. New Jersey with 14, going to Johnson. Delaware with 3, going to Goldwater. Maryland with 10, going to Goldwater. DC with 3, going to Goldwater. Winning him the presidency. Okay. So, Barry Goldwater won the U.S. presidency of 64. So actually, Goldwater was president, not Johnson. Just kidding. Goldwater lost. But Goldwater did win, and he did a whole lot better than he did in the actual election. Johnson did way worse than he did in the actual election, because Johnson got over 400. So, Johnson did a lot worse. Anyways, Pennsylvania with 19 went to Goldwater. New York with 28 went to Johnson. Maine's 1st district went to Goldwater. Maine's 2nd district went to Goldwater. Maine all went to Goldwater. Okay. That's this election. So comparing this election to the real election, Johnson did a lot worse than he did in the real life one, and Goldwater did a whole lot better than he did in the real one. If we compare like states like Washington, Oregon, and California, Johnson, this one they went for Goldwater, but we look at states like Mississippi, Georgia, South Carolina, who went for Goldwater, went for Johnson, so there's a parallel. Yeah. So, please subscribe, like, and comment. Go check out my community tab to vote if you like 6 candidate or 2 candidate videos. I hope you have a good day, night, afternoon, what time of day you're watching this. And I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.